What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Shouts out to the new wave. What's going on? I'm glad you guys stopped by. You can be anywhere, but you right here with me tonight. I see you, Mike Gee. Y'all get those likes up. Hit the like button. You got 8 people in the building. Come on. 2 likes. Come on, get me up there. Come on, 11 people. Go ahead and slap that like button. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Alright. Got a big job to do in the morning. That's awesome. That's awesome. What's going on, Channing Braswell? Got Fred Adams in the building. Callus Auto Details. Mike Gee, I see you. Jeremy Lewis. What's going on, everybody? You got a big job tomorrow. What you doing? What kind of job you doing tomorrow? A tanker. Okay. Don't ride dirty. What's going on? Alright, I'm gonna get started. Alright, y'all know the topic of discussion, what to expect, wintertime detailing. So basically what to expect in the wintertime. I'm gonna talk about the business side as well as actually performing the duties. Actually going out and doing jobs. First off, man, if during the regular season, when everything's going, the spring and summertime, when it's nice out, you should be saving a nest egg. I save 20% of my income. So 10% is for me. The other 10% is for the wintertime. I do this religiously. Every time I do a car, every time I do a lawn, I have a certain percentage. At the end of the day, I have a certain percentage that I'm going to save. I split it up into 2 different bank accounts. So out of 100%, I'm taking out 20. So 80% goes into my business account, and that's how I pay my bills and do my day-to-day type stuff. All right, the other 20%, like I said, that 10% gets split up into 2. So it's 3 different bank accounts for business, and it's 2 other checking accounts. Well, one is a savings, one is a checking. So it's two checkings, 1 saving. So 10% goes into a checking account where I'm going to save that up for the winter time. So when the winter hits, I have that money already. The other 10% is going to go to, it's just money I'm saving for myself. All right. So that 10% is enough for me to, if something happens, if some equipment break or anything happen, if I got to spend some money, truck, anything break down, sometimes I can just pay for it out of that. Or I'll just pay for it out of my business account. But I make sure that I have a nest egg. So I know my most slowest months. My slowest months are January and February. Those are my slowest. It starts to slow down in November. I can see the drop when November hits. All right, but I started saving all the way back last January. So when the winter hits, I'm not worried about doing no work. I'm not worried about any jobs. Although I know I'm prepared for jobs. I know I'm going to get jobs. And the weather here doesn't get extremely cold. When it does get extremely cold, it doesn't stay extremely cold. But here's the thing. Here's what you guys are going to have to worry about. If this is your first winter, these are things that you're going to run into. Business is going to slow down. If you're in a cold, especially if you're in a cold climate like up north, Chicago, the Midwest, certain parts of the South, East Coast, sometimes it just you can't do anything. Everything is going to slow down, and you probably will go a few days at a time in between getting jobs. So that nest egg is going to help you. So what I do is I just make sure that my 2 biggest bills I'll be able to pay them no matter what. and I can pretty much pay my bills for. I save up for like 4 months, but I only need 2 months of bills. But I do 4 just to be on the safe side. Now, what happens is there's so many factors in the wintertime that just messes up your money altogether. One being that it's cold. When it's cold, customers think that you're not working because it's too cold, so they don't call. So you're going to want to promote more in the wintertime to let people know that if the weather is above, above freezing and it's comfortable out, you will be working. You want to let them know that you're still out here. Or you can still perform services like interior detailing and stuff like that if they got a garage and stuff like that. Keep them in the loop of what's going on. Another thing is that the the daylight savings time. You don't have a lot of daylight, and you can wake up in the morning, and when you wake up in the morning, it can be too cold to work, and then about 10 or 11, it warms up, but then it's gonna freeze. It's gonna go back to freezing again, maybe 5. So you only have maybe a 4 to 5 hour window to get anything done. So you probably might be able to get 1, maybe 2 vehicles in. So those are the type of problems you're going to be facing in the wintertime. Another problem you're going to face is chemicals freezing in your van, water tank freezing, water pump on your pressure washer freezing, all types of stuff that's going to freeze up on you. And if you're not aware of that, you park your vehicle outside and you can't, you don't have a way of keeping your stuff warm, or if you don't unhook some of your stuff and take some of your stuff out and bring it in, then what's going to happen is when you wake up in the morning and you think you're finna go detail, you got an ice block in your truck, in your van, or whatever you're using. Your water tank is frozen, then, or your pipes are frozen, or you turn on your pressure washer and it's got a block of ice on the inside of the pump, and then it cracks and destroys your pump. Now you need to go get another pressure washer. There's just so many things that just happens in the wintertime, and if you've never been through a wintertime, you may not know this. You may not be aware of this. Right, you can do that. You can use an electrical heater in the back of your truck. You can unhook all your stuff and drain it and bring it inside, and then when you wake up in the morning, you can hook it back up and fill it up then. Or you can, if you have a hot water tap somewhere, you can pour warm water in your tank, and because if there's ice in it, you can pour more water and break it all up. There's just so many things you can do, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys experienced that when you first started, and didn't think of all this when you first started. And the thing is that and some of you guys are gonna actually exactly blow out all the lines, drain everything exactly. I see MTH Power Wash, but a lot of you guys are going to actually try to go out there and detail a car in below freezing weather. I know a few people have tried it, and what's going to happen is the water is just going to freeze as you spraying it on the car, and it's just not going to be a good thing for you. But they have those little irons where you can put it in your bucket. You can put it in your 5-gallon bucket, and it can heat up the water. You can just plug it up in your generator. You can heat up the water, so you can keep your hands warm. You won't be sticking your hands in warm water. What else can you do? It's a lot that you can do out here. You can buy your kerosene heater and have it on your appointments, plug it up. And the thing is that the key to it, and I see where a lot of people fail at, it's not saving up. It's not saving up during the good times. So when the winter time comes, you're not so pressed to do a job. You can calmly, make decisions and move around and not make desperate decisions because you need the money. I've been there. I've literally been out there and it was just freezing cold and I was doing a car because I didn't plan for the winter. And this is like my first winter. And I was out there doing a car and it was freezing out there. But I got through it and I got it done. Lesson learned. Man, I didn't know anything about, bucket warmers, stuff that you can, warm your water up. I didn't think of buying a heater and putting it outside, one of those kerosene heaters, one of those kerosene heaters that it looks like it's a rocket when you're looking at it, like it's shooting out fire, something like that. And you're going to start learning the weather. Like, I started learning that, the wind chill, when you're looking at the weather, it may say 40 degrees, but the wind can be blowing. You'll notice the difference in washing in direct sunlight or washing in the shade. It can be 10 degrees colder in the shade than in the sunlight. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you'll learn a lot out there, man. I remember I used to go to those group washes, and I'll be out there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it would be freezing cold. And what I would do is, when I get up, the night before, I'll be looking at the weather, and and you know how to tell you the weather by the hour, and I would look at it. I'd be like, okay, well, it's going to be about 40 degrees at 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna go out there at 9 o'clock where it's not below freezing, it's not super cold out. Then I also look at the wind. Like, you're looking at the wind. If the wind is at 15, 20 miles per hour and it's 40 degrees, it's going to feel like it's probably 30 or 20 degrees out there. So there ain't no need to even go out. And I would just learn these things on the fly, because at first, I would say, oh, okay, it's 40 degrees. I know it's cold, but it's not that cold. And then I'll bundle up, go out there, but the wind is 20 miles per hour, and the wind is just, you spraying, and the wind blows the water, hits you in the face, your face freezing. It's crazy. And then good clothing. Good clothing, man. You need, thick socks. Double up on your socks. Long johns, thermal underwear, coveralls. Put your clothes on in layers. Always remember, if you can put too much on, and that's fine, because you can always take it off. If you don't have this stuff with you, you can't add it. You see what I'm saying? So if you dress too much and it gets hot, you can always take a few layers off and be good. But those are some of the things that you're going to expect in the wintertime. And some of you guys are probably like California or certain places where, or Miami or Florida, some places where it doesn't get, extremely cold like that. So you guys don't have to worry about it. But right here in Mississippi, where I'm at, usually what it does is it's cold in the morning. About from 10 a.m. to noon, it starts to warm up. And then I think it gets at its highest, maybe 2 p.m. is where it's at its warmest. And then after 3, it starts to drop. You want to also get you some lights, some lighting, any type of lighting, a headlamp, a standing lamp. You can get battery operated or to plug in. Little small lights that you can hang in your car. Hang in the car so you can see what you're doing at night, because some of your appointments are going to run into the dark, and you want to have all these things. And right now is the best time to go and start buying this stuff before before the winter actually arrives. I mean, the winter is almost here. We're in the late fall. Before you know it, Thanksgiving will be here and winter will be here. So you want to be prepared. You don't want to be caught off guard, because like when the winter time hits, it's hard to find the winter clothes because everybody's already bought them up, preparing for the winter. So be sure to do that. But I just can't express it enough that you guys, if you didn't do it this year, make sure next year you start saving your money. You need to start as early as January. Get your calculator. If you don't know how to do it, I can show you. Get your calculator. Let me see if I can pull up my calculator on here. Let me see. What am I doing? Alright, let me see. Here it is. Let me see if I can pull it up on here. Because to me, that's the most important right there. And I know a lot of people don't do it. Alright. There's a calculator right there. Let me see. Alright, so it's simple, right? It's pretty simple. Okay, let's say you made $150, right? And you want to save 20% of $50, because a lot of people, and don't be ashamed, because a lot of people don't know how to do fractions, don't know how to do percentages, and some of you do. But luckily, we have this thing called a smartphone where we have calculators on our phones. So that's the beauty in this, and that's why I told you the cell phone is the most important thing in my opinion, is the most important thing in detailing, the most important tool in detailing. But so you got $150. You want to know 20%, you just do times 0.20, right? And that's $30. So, and then if you want to do 10%, that'll just be half of that, which would be 15, right? So if you want to do 10%, that's 1 point. Well, hold on. Well, no, that's not going to come out to that. That's not going to come out to, that still won't come out to, I'm sorry, I'm telling you guys wrong. But 10% of 30, it's not going to come out to $15. But that should be that's actually half. You're just going to split it up. But that's what I do. I save 20% and then I cut it into half. And then I pretty much split it up different ways. But that's how you do it. Just that simple, right? So whatever percentage you want to save, if it's 80%, if it's 20%, 30, 40%, it's just 0.4, 0.40. 0.4 and 0.40 is the same thing. All right. So if I did 0.4 and let's say I made $100, that should come out to what? $40. Right, $40. See. So that's how you do that. But that's the main thing, man, and that's really what I like to push on here. Uh, that's what I like to push on here. I like to push, saving that money during the wintertime. I mean, during the summertime, during the good times, when everything is going good, that's when you want to be saving the money. Because the weather in the wintertime is so, can be so unpredictable in some places. Like, Missouri. Missouri has some very tricky weather. Like, you can wake up in the morning and it can be snowing, and then the sun can come out and it can be 90 degrees, and then it can rain all in the same day. I went to basic training in Missouri, and I saw that several times. I've experienced that a few times. But the biggest thing in the wintertime is the biggest thing to help you get through the wintertime is saving that nest egg. And I can't preach that enough. I've been talking about it every year for the past probably 4 or 5 years. Oh, hold on for a second. I got to take a call right quick. Oh. All right. Yeah, actually, yeah, for that, I see you don't ride dirty. Actually, if you want to do half of of that $30, you should have did 0.5. Should have did 0.5, and that would have gave you half of that. Right, right. But yeah, I like to do a little higher than 10% because I like to do a little higher than 10%. Um, Simply because I'm running a business, so I need money for the business and I need money for me. So that's what I do. I've been doing it for years and it's been working out great. I used to do 10% and that worked out fine, and then I did 20. I might go up to 25%, go up to 25% and, see how that works out. You still pumped on the client customer difference, right? A lot of people don't know that. I remember a guy got mad. A guy got mad at me, man, because I said that. He made a whole video about it, but he got mad and said, basically said he don't agree with what I said about customer and client. And I was like, I don't care what you agree with. If you look it up, if you look it up, it clearly says it. Let me see. Hold on for a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to run to the bathroom that time. Woo! I feel better now. Right, but yeah, I was trying to pull up customer versus client. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right, I googled client versus customer. All right, here it is. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. All right, there it is. Let me see if I can just get it to the part where I don't know if you guys can see it good. Let me try to fix it up a little bit. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you're on your smartphones, it might be too small. But right here, which is a blog, it says, since you're here, well, hold on, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it. What it does is it breaks down a definition of a customer. A definition of a customer. When it comes to the dictionary definition, a customer is a person or organization that buys something from a shop, store, or business. Right away, we can see that a customer is a word that we mostly refer to in regards as a casual purchases. And that should be no surprise, as the word comes from the Latin word custom, which simply means practice. Therefore, we can understand a customer as a person who buys goods frequently or has habit of doing so. All right. We define a customer as a person who goods or services. We define a customer as a person who purchases goods or services in exchange for money. All right. So now a definition of a client. Now, I just pulled this up today. This is not where I got my information from, but it's basically saying the same thing I'm saying. But it says definition of a client. Again, let's start with the definition, the dictionary definition. The dictionary definition now. A client is a person who uses the services or advice. You hear that? Uses the services or advice of a professional person or organization. Straightforward, we can see that a client is more of a formal form of a customer. That's because a client is involved in the more specific types of purchases, namely services That means a guy who goes to buy a few apples in Paris is not the store's client, but a customer. But if you go to a lawyer to get help, see, it's the same example that I used. Yet, if you go to the lawyer to help you get out of a deadlock situation, then you are his client. The key differences. This is right here. I mean, you can look it up. You can look it up for yourself, but I don't just make this stuff up myself. Right, I don't just make this stuff up myself. This is stuff that I've researched on my own, and it was something that I wanted to know what it is. I wanted to know for myself, so I looked it up. And I looked this up years ago, and if you go back to my older videos, I even have a video that says customers versus clients. I think I went live talking about that before. So that's something that I've been talking about for a while. But I remember a guy got mad. Well, he was mad at something else, but he mentioned that customer versus clients, because a lot of people want to use, it sounds good, they want to use the word client. They want to use it so bad, and then once they realize that the customers that they have are just customers and not clients, they just don't want to let go of that word client. Oh, that's my client. Okay. I mean, you can make up your own definition if you want to, but that's the definition. But yeah, but anyway, back to this wintertime detailing. And another thing, I was telling you about the lights or whatever. I was telling you about the lights, telling you guys about the lights and stuff like that, because here it starts to get dark like 5:15, 5:20. It starts getting dark. So if someone calls you at 2 o'clock and they want a full detail, they call you at 3 o'clock and they want a full detail, it's going to probably take you 2, 3, 4 hours. You're going to run into the darkness. So what I like to do in those situations is I start with the interior first. You got to use your head. You got to, because time is of the essence. You don't have time to waste. So I like to start out with the interior first, because the interior is harder to see at night, and I'll just start with that first. But if you have lighting, it really doesn't matter, because you can light anything up. They got all types of, they got all types of lights, man. Lights that you can put outside. Oh, what's going on with my screen? Can y'all see me, or y'all still see the stuff that I had, the other screen that I had up with the definition of customer client? I got some weird stuff popping up on mine. Y'all let me know if y'all see my face or y'all see another screen. Okay. Alright, there it is. Alright. Okay, cool. Alright, but let me pull up some other stuff. But you can go to places like Home Depot, Harbor Freight. You want to probably get LED. LED lasts longer. LED doesn't use as much power. LED doesn't use as much power, so LED will last longer. Like if you have a battery operated light and it's LED, it'll last longer than, you know, your incandescent bulbs. But I mean, you don't have to go all crazy. Just enough light to where you can see. Don't get all crazy with buying stuff. You know, buy what you can afford. If you can afford better, then do so. But they got some good prices on lights. This is a good time. You know, it's a good time to go ahead and start shopping for them now. I mean, because it's already getting. It's not like super cold where I'm at, but it's already getting like dark. I did a job this today. I started it at it was it's full detail. It took me like 3 hours. I started like at 2, and I got done like at maybe 4:45 or something like that. And it started getting dark, and by 5:15 it was almost completely dark outside. I got done before it got dark, but and I do have lights. So you let's see what they got on Home Depot. Let's see. All right, you got work lights. You got all types of stuff. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Let's try automotive work light. See what that come up with. Okay, you see right here, you got this 1,000 lumens LED rechargeable work area light with a magnetic 380-degree hanging hook. It's 52 bucks. You got this one right here where you can just stand in the, you can stand in the vehicle. You can put it on the floor. You can sit that within the cup holder. I mean, little lights like this, like these things right here. I mean, look at it, 35 bucks. You could buy, 2, 3 of these, 2, 3 of those, 1 or 2 of these. I mean, they got a lot of stuff, man. It's just what you need, This one is a good light right here. This K-Tool International. Here go a headlight right here by Gear Wrench. Yeah, You sit on right thing, but $32, and you put it on your head, and whatever you looking at, it lights up. Oh, these come in handy. Got 4.5-star review. These come in handy. Trust me. They last a very long time before you have to change the batteries out. I mean, I use them all the time. Alright. Let's see. And you guys can go, hop on there yourself. You can go to the Harbor Freight website and check out some things they got. I mean, and then Harbor Freight got the warranties. Now you got that's those lights were for more of inside the vehicle. You may want to put you may want to go with something outside the vehicle. Like, see this one, this light right here, this Husky light, and this tripod. They come, you can buy them separately, and you can put this light on this tripod. But these are not battery operated. You have to plug them in. But I mean, you can see, man. You can, pick your choice. It's just so many. Let's see what Harbor Freight has. Harbor Freight got some better prices. They only got one light for automotive. Yeah, but y'all get the gist of everything, man. Right. Okay, yeah. Ice is another thing you may run into to start too early. Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes even at black ice, you can slip and fall. Sometimes you'll go out there in the shaded areas. Let's say if it snowed, a couple of days before or a day before, and everything is melting, but everything in the shaded area is still icy and still frozen. You got to be careful of all that. But when I was running into all these problems when I first, 2012, winter of 2012 and into 2013, man, I was really contemplating getting a part-time job to hold me over, because I was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna make it, because I was barely, I was barely paying my bills, like literally paying the bills, and then just having a couple dollars left over, and not knowing if I can do it for the next month. And March is it's December, and things don't pick up until the end of February, middle of March, and it just seems like that's gonna take forever. Uh, but I can't stress it enough because there's so much that can happen. You gotta have something saved up. There's so much that can happen. I mean, it can you can have a snowstorm and the power goes out inside of your town. The power goes out. Nobody's thinking about getting their car detailed when they got no power. Uh, just so many things can happen, man. We can, and then, like I said, that little small window, you get that little small window of going out there to detail the car. It may be below freezing in the morning, and by 12 it warms up, and then it only stays warm for about 4 hours, 5 hours, warm enough to detail, and then that fourth or fifth hour is getting dark. So that means that's just cutting your money down because it's not like the winter, it's not like the summertime where it doesn't get dark till almost 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is still light outside, and so you got a pretty much a 12-hour workday where you can make a lot of money, and I take advantage of those days. In the summertime, I'll get up 7 o'clock in the morning and get to work, and I'll work till dark, and I'll come home, with a nice little chunk of money, and then like I said, I'll do my little 10%, my little 20%, and put it away. And then once I get enough, then I'll just go to the bank and make a deposit. So I'll do it for like a month, and then I'll make a deposit. Then I'll go another month and make another deposit. So that's how I would do it. And you'd be surprised how much you would have. And then the funny thing about it is, it's like when you have money saved up, it seems like money easily comes to you. So again, guys, that's what you need to be doing. The biggest thing is to save your money. And once you have your nest egg saved up, be prepared for any jobs that you're going to get in the wintertime, because you still want to make money. Even though you got a nest egg saved up, you still want to make money, during the wintertime. So you want to be, conscious of the weather. You need to be conscious of your time, paying attention to how you detailing. Like I said, if you start to detail at 3 o'clock and by, it's going to get dark at 5, the areas that that's going to be kind of hard when it gets dark, even if you do have light, you want to knock those areas out first and get that stuff on out the way. And you can still take on jobs at night. You can start a job at night. I've done that too. I did that last year. I bought my lights, and I was telling people, I could come, I could be there at 5 o'clock. Because I know it's going to be dark, but I got light. We can get it in. They'd be like, oh, bet, you go out there and you handle your business, and you can still make money. Make sure right now, go buy all the warm clothing you're going to need: long johns, skull caps, hoodies, coveralls, double up socks, boots, waterproof boots. You don't want your feet getting wet. What else? Pay attention to the, like I said, pay attention to the weather. Pay attention to the wind. You got these. If you don't have a weather app or some type of weather app on your phone, download one now. Most of them come. If you got an Android, most of them come with Google Weather or something on there, and you can just hop on there and you can look. Sorry about that. You can just hop on there, and like right now, my weather is. It was kind of warm today. It was like 73 degrees today, but like right now it's 55. But you can see it right there at the top. Right there. That's my weather right there. So I could just click on it, and I'm pretty sure all you have it, and it's very, very important. You know days in advance an idea of what the weather is going to be like, and you need to pay attention to it. Also, you need to also pay attention to the humidity, because it could be 35 degrees, but if the humidity is high, it'll feel warmer than 32 degrees. You see what I'm saying? And I learned that just by paying attention, just by looking at it. Like, okay, it's, I'm looking at the weather. It's 40 degrees, and I'm like, okay, it's cold, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do something today. And I say, you know what? Let me walk outside and see how I feel. I'll walk outside with like maybe a just a long sleeve on and see how I feel. And I'd be like, oh, it's not that bad. I stand in the sun. I'm like, oh, it's not. I don't feel that bad. It's just like in the summertime, it can be 90 degrees, but the real feel can be 100, and that's because of the humidity. And it's the same thing in the wintertime. So the weather, you want to definitely get your weather app so you can keep track of that. And when you're scheduling your appointments, you have to be mindful of when it gets dark, what time the best time for you to go out there and do it. If it's going to be below freezing at 7 o'clock in the morning, there's no need to go out there because the water will freeze on you. When you spraying water, that's dangerous. When you spraying water, it's hitting the floor. It will freeze on the floor. You can slip and fall, and you could be out for the whole winter. Break your ankle, break your leg, or whatever, arm or whatever, and you can be out for the whole winter. So, make sure that you paying attention to all of this, because that's and I didn't anticipate that. My first winter, I didn't anticipate none. I didn't even think about all that. Even though it gets darker early, it's but you're not thinking as a detail. You just, oh, I'll be good. And then when the winter hit, boy, it was rough for me. It was hard. I mean, I was just like, wow, I'm gonna have to go get a job. But by the grace of God, I made it. I made it through. I would get jobs. Like I'll be sitting at home, and then all of a sudden, boom, oh, I got a job, and I'll be so happy. I remember just sitting back, telling people, yo, man, I got a job. They'd be happy for me, and I only be making like $50 or $100, and just to be happy, just to make that. So you don't want to be in that position. I started thinking of like weird, crazy ideas to try to make money. Thinking of stupid stuff, stupid ways to make money, and that's what happens when you're desperate. But now, when I have that nest egg saved up, if it's snowing outside, or if it's raining, or if it's too cold, I can make a YouTube video, or I can work on a logo, or I can work on something. My mind is free. It's not bogged down with how to pay my bills. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I got for you guys. Just want to give y'all something to give y'all something to think about. If you're not thinking about it right now, you need to be thinking about it right now, and it's still not too late to go and make those moves. If you did not save a nest egg, it's too late. But it's not too late for next year, so you can start now for saving your nest egg for next winter. Right, bucket warmer, yeah. It's like a little iron, and you plug it in your generator. You just drop it in the water, and it heats up the water like it boils the water, has it piping hot, and a lot of you guys, that you'll be surprised what that warm water can do. That warm water is like a steamer. It can clean up a lot, fast, and you can go through a lot of interiors with that hot water, and plus it's gonna save your hands. But I have one. I bought it last year, or year before last. But yeah, that's what y'all, those are the things y'all want to get into. What's going on, Cordial Ashley? I see you. Eric Whitstone, I see you. But I'm finna get out of here, y'all. I just wanted to drop that on you guys. If y'all got any questions, I'll hang around for a little while and answer a few questions, and I'm out of here, man. For you new guys that's checking in, if we got any new people watching, go and join the New Wave Facebook group. It's called New Wave by ANA. It's going to be that logo right here. When you type in New Wave by ANA on Facebook, you're going to see that logo. Within that logo, you're going to see ANA like somewhere up in there somewhere. And you know you're at the right place. Go ahead, request to join. I accept everybody. This way, you know, you can get inspired by other detailers. You can post your own stuff. You can post your before and after pictures. You can show off. You can give advice. You can get advice. You can, you know, inspire people, get inspired, motivate people, get motivated. I want you guys to go over there, and I'd be glad to see you guys over there. We got a lot of people with many years of experience. Some people with more experience than me. I don't know everything. So that's why I started a group where you guys can, you know, build and connect. You might meet somebody from your own state or your own city, and y'all can link up and do some things together. So this is a great way to network, and it's a great way to learn some tips and some tricks of the trades from other people that's been doing it for a minute.